on Sunday. It's a green morning, it's a green afternoon, it's a green evening world over. All our brothers and sisters across the globe, let's meet Canada, let's meet Nivedita Divgi, let's meet the clinical psychologist. The topic is next to the heart of everybody because every parent, everybody on this planet has got a right to enjoy their life, to live their life to optimism, and to have the best whatever they can on this planet. So Sunday, 28th of November, 2021, 3 minutes past 8 p.m., we are with Nivedita Divgi. Now, let me share a couple of slides with you before I hand you over. And as you can see the title right on the top, every Sunday, 8 p.m. onwards, we are with our brothers and sisters and children. Because when I look at Nivedita, I have to say brothers, sister, and children. So NRIs for Indian education and skills. You all are there to support the wisdom and the universe and to make everybody happy on this planet. I'm also grateful. There are 3 sector skill councils. We have got Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council. We have got Wellness Sector Skill Council. We have got Management and Entrepreneurship and Startup and Professional Skill Council. And we have got UNESCO India. They are wonderful. Thank you very much for supporting the vision, cause, efforts, and dedication of our chamber. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, let's move in the global partnership together, all of us. 31.4 million are brothers, sisters, children abroad, doing wonderful. We are proud of them. And our chamber is focusing on services sector. We discussed with you earlier as well on a couple of programs. But if you are new to the program, we focus on services sector. When you say service industry, why? There is a reason. Because the entire economy is basically made of 3 areas: agriculture, manufacturing, and services. And this evening, the first award will go to Julie Subba ma'am from Manipur. She gets 500 rupees reward this evening for being the first person to join on the YouTube. Great. And agriculture, manufacturing, and then comes services sector. During pandemic, the first wave, the second wave, we don't want to have third wave. No more waves, please. Please go. Corona, no more Rona, you go away. So finish world over. We have been focusing on teachers and youth, lovely kids, they're wonderful. Our chamber since 1994, when the Pravasi Divas started, from our chamber side, initially Punjabi Pravasi Divas, thereafter Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. So 1994 itself, we brought finishing school in India for services sector. And basic objective was that the youth and the teachers, they need personal and professional development. They need hand-holding, their personality, their communication, their collaboration, their creativity, their innovation, their curiosity, their critical thinking, their design thinking, their continuous and lifelong learning. Everything, how it can be clubbed. Major Dr. Gulshan Sharma, how your chamber is different from others? Because everybody is offering that. How are you different from others? Hold on, we'll share with you. We always encourage why music, humor, dancing, fun, happiness, passion, stimulation, storytelling. Why these are not part of education ecosystem and why education should not be relevant to our day-to-day life. With that as a vision, all of us we brought together, and this finishing school, I'm proud of my entire team. In last 28 years, 52,000 students have been given complimentary education. And that is the cause, and they are world over. They are world over. When I look at them, I feel so very happy. It gives such a beautiful, soothing feeling, because when they do well, we do well. When they are happy, we are happy. So that's why teachers, educators, counselors, and people like Nivedita, you know, those are doing the human service. If you all are happy, and if our youth are happy, the world is happy, because present and tomorrow both belongs to you. Here is a group of Sikkim teachers, all educators, 7,000 teachers together on a common platform. We did the program for them. Such a beautiful journey in Gangtok. I'm proud of Monica Behel, such a wonderful lady. The Wellness Sector Skill Council in India, they are doing fantastic. They're doing wonderful. Their 15th August celebration of 2020 and 15th August celebrations of 2021, both the programs on Bharat Ke Swatantrata Divas we had done with Monica Behel, the Wellness Sector Skill Council, because, and here comes a handsome gentleman, Mohit Soni, the CEO, Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council of India, a wonderful professional technocrat, human being, who is totally dedicated radio, television, theater, music, films, animation, digital, augmented reality, virtual reality, Internet of Things, cloud computing, whatsoever you can talk about. And then, of course, now the OTT platforms, innovation, what all is coming. On YouTube channel, we extend a very hearty welcome to Julie Subba ma'am, Manisha Chaturvedi ma'am, and Habung Asha ma'am, all the way from Zero, from Arunachal Pradesh, and BB Subba Foundation. It's a complete group of about 400 people. And then, of course, I'm grateful, my gratitudes to Surya Vijay Kottamarti ji. He had been very, very kind, because he's the one who brought Nivedita on this particular platform. It's such a wonderful, I'm grateful to him. So ladies and gentlemen, we are also proud of Startup Skill Council. That is for startup, for entrepreneurship, for management, for teachers training, master trainers, Colonel Anil Kumar Pokhriyal, the MEPSC, they are doing wonderful. From finishing school during the COVID, we have come to e-Gurukul service industry. We are really very happy, because tourism and entertainment, we have taken two focused area. And of course, we strongly believe Shiksha, Kaushalta, and Udmita, they are inseparable. Education is incomplete without skills, and education and skills are incomplete without the right outcome for every child. It has to come. I'm also proud, right from Meghalaya, the beautiful state, the hill state of the 8 northeastern states of India, Mr. Tyrone D. Brass, our advisor for the education segment of the Northeast India, has also joined from Tura. I extend him a very hearty welcome. Thank you. And Bharti Divgi ji, I'm pretty sure you are related to Nivedita, and you must be joining from Pune, but we are feeling little stingy because you're enjoying good weather and we are still sitting in a chilly weather. And of course, Nivedita is sitting in a further chilly weather, because Vijay Kottamarti ji told me it's almost a 1 degree temperature right over there in Toronto. So Pune has got a beautiful climate. Well, situation is improving. Things are improving. Nivedita would be meeting all of you soon. So ladies and gentlemen, come on the YouTube channel. Don't be shying away, because the more you share the information, the more you share the vision. It is no more competition in the world. Corona has taught everybody it's a collaboration. It's a creativity. It's a cohesiveness. All of us together. I found 11,000 new friends during this pandemic as my motivational speakers, educators, resource persons. These 11,000 people are new part of my family. Those have come as speaker, and almost 300,000, 3 lakh youth from the world over, those have come on the chamber on different days, on different programs, because everybody has got their own interest. We start in the morning, and can you imagine this morning also we started at 9:30 first program, 11:30 second program, 4 o'clock third program, 5 o'clock fourth program, and this is the 5th program which is going whole day talking. And I think when we will talk about autism and developmental disability, Nivedita is going to talk a lot onto that. So ladies and gentlemen, do come, join us, be a part of the deliberation and discussion, and post maximum views, because Julie ma'am has already won 500 rupees this evening, being a first person to join. Let's have some creativity. Let's have some questions. Let's have some deliberations. Let's have some new ideas and some kind of innovation coming in this program. And the best idea which comes today is deliberations. After Nivedita's presentation, let her select one award of 500 rupees from the audience who will be posting their views on the YouTube, we will take on the journey. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, tighten your seat belts. Flight is taking off. We are taking you across to the Niagara Falls because Gurpreet ma'am is watching us right from the down below. We are going all the way to Nivedita, and we are there in Toronto, 1 degree, cold, chilly weather right over there. So Nivedita ji, hearty welcome. Pleasure to have you with us from Canada. You can unmute your mic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It's
God bless
snowing
you.
right now, and it's looking
It's
very
snowing.
beautiful outside. Yeah.
Oh, we don't want to feel that. We don't want to feel that. It's perfectly fine. It should not be that cold also. Okay, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. I think. Sorry, just give me a minute.
Your presentation has come.
All right, and everyone can see it.
Yes, we can
All
see.
right.
Yeah.
So today I'm going to talk about autism and developmental disability, a topic I feel that there should be a lot of awareness about, not only in India, but the rest of the world. I feel as I have been a part of this field where I support people who have autism and other developmental disabilities, I feel that they should be more accepted, respected, and mainly included. Inclusion is one of my major goals when I talk about the people I support. So what is a developmental disability? According to the Center of Disease Control, CDC, a group of conditions due to an impairment in physical learning, language, or behavior areas. These conditions begin during the developmental period and may impact day-to-day functioning and usually last throughout a person's lifetime. So I always get parents asking me, so mera bacha kab theek hoga? Unfortunately, there is no cure for autism. The cause is not known yet, and you're born with it. Now, what are the signs a parent can see? That would be lack of eye contact. The child does not like company or attention. Fixation on just one toy. Repetitive actions can be like moving back and forth or flipping their hand. And self-injurious behaviors or inappropriate behaviors like biting, hitting, scratching, especially when a schedule is disrupted. So the first thing a parent feels like, oh my God, is the hearing affected? That's the first thing a parent will look at, because when you're calling the child's name, like giving you example of let's take John. If I'm calling John, the child is not looking at you. So the first thing you feel, oh my God, maybe the child has a hearing disability, or there might be a speech delay. That's the first thing we look at. Now, how is the diagnosis done? A diagnosis is made by a pediatrician. However, as a parent who doesn't know much about autism or any other developmental disability, they would first go to different doctors. They want to check, they want to get the best out of different doctors. They'll go to a ENT specialist, a speech pathologist. But the diagnosis is done by a pediatrician. They record signs. They try to find any other cause. Like sometimes it may only be speech delay. They want to rule out all the other causes, and then they make a diagnosis. When they make a diagnosis, we usually use DSM-5 criteria. Now, which is what we use everywhere in the world, and it keeps changing. So when I started school or started my journey in psychology, I was studying DSM-3. Then we came to 4. Then we came to 4TR. Now we're at DSM-5, and I'm sure that's going to change too. So as the world changes, as we know new things, our DSM-5 book, or the main book that we all universal we focus on, keeps changing. Now, getting to the crux of what is autism. The DSM-5 is divided into 3 areas where you may find deficit. So the first thing is deficit in social interaction. Now, what does that mean? That is that they may have difficulty in normal back and forth conversations, and they may not like to share their toys or shared play. In communication, they have deficits with non-verbal and verbal communication. That will be lack of eye contact, verbal and non-verbal communication. A lot of my programs, when I start off with youngsters, would be like them looking at me when I call their name. When I say John, John should have an eye contact. John should look at my eyes. So that is one of that's how we usually start with our young kids. And restricted and repetitive behavior, like as I said before, flipping, moving their hand, echolalia. Echolalia is repeating what I'm saying. I'm saying, wow, nice cup. They're going to say, nice cup, nice cup, nice cup. And any disturbance with their routine will cause, they're not too fond of any disturbance in the routine. They love their schedules, and they really engage themselves in a lot of sensory activities, excessive smelling, and excessive touching of items. Now, there are 3 functional areas of autism. Level 1 being that a person does not need that much of support. He or she can talk, it can do a lot of activities, maths, learn tables. But the deficit in level 1 is mainly social interactions. They're not fond of being social. You'll find them aloof. It's if we have an older diagnosis, it's usually confused with social phobia, because level 1 is all to do with the difficulty initiating social interaction. As we move to level 2, the person would need more support, because with the social interaction, deficits in social interaction, they have a lot of repetitive behaviors. And the 3rd level is where a person would need maximum support. They have difficulty in all the 3 areas we discussed before. Now, how can we support a child or an adult? And these are like our 5 fingers. We need all our 5 fingers. So this is a support system which I believe is needed. And I know because of circumstances, the children or adults we support may not have all these support systems in place. But like like Sir said, that we all need to come together. There's no competition. We need to help everyone. Like that, we need to help our people who are vulnerable here and make a solid system for them. So doctor, of family, utmost important, school, a speech therapist, an instructor therapist, a BCBA, and DSW is a developmental service worker. Now, family is the foundation of support. And the first thing I always tell my parents who for the kids that I support, that please do not blame themselves. The first thing they'll come and they'll say, oh my God, ye mere saath kyun hua? Why did this happen to me? What did I do? Did I eat something wrong that happened? And we'll get into superstitions over there. So parents here, I always tell them, please do not blame yourself. The cause of autism till now is unknown. We don't know about the cause. They end up blaming themselves a lot. The second thing is acceptance. It's when a parent is expecting a child, they usually have a lot of dreams. They save money for their college, even though the child is not even born. Parents are saving money for school. Parents are saving money for their wedding, and it keeps going on. So it's hard when your plans change. We expect things that our child will go to, finish our 10th grade. And not to say that the children and the people I support can't do that. It's just that the support they need may be different. But accepting a change in our plans that a parent is always dreamt of is hard. But the sooner we accept, the faster we will be able to help our children here. And educating yourself is very important. As I have worked in so many places, I've realized that parents, the second a parent has educated himself, the child works wonders. because a parent knows parents will educate themselves. What am I supposed to do? What works? What doesn't work? As therapists or as GSWs, we are there with children for just 2-3 hours. It's the family that is there for the longest. They're living with the child is living with the family. So it's extremely important that they educate themselves and spread awareness in the family. I always wish that there would be, or sometimes I know there is like a parent support group where all these parents can come together and share their experience, because we always learn from others. School. In Canada, I really like what's happening in Canada, and I know that's happening in India too, is inclusion. So a child who has a diagnosis can very much sit with a typical learner. At this point in time, we don't use normal kids, so I'm using the term as typical learner here. So inclusion, where a child can sit with his friends over there. Peer support. And what happens in peer support is we teach the young kids that, all right, this our friend over here, our friend John, has a diagnosis of autism. That means he is smart, he can do whatever you guys are doing, but we need to teach him a bit differently. And for that, you guys can be my helpers. That's how we usually teach our youngsters how to help our kids who have autism or any other developmental disability and may need help. What happens with this is something extremely important is they stop bullying. They learn that they're not going to bully people who may need support. And it helps the other kids to increase their emotional quotient, EQ, because all our syllabuses, whatever we teach our kids, do not usually include emotional quotient as to how to be more emotional, how to express your emotions instead of crying or saying you're upset. So having a solid peer support will not only help the child who has autism, but the entire group as a whole. And alternative and equivalent courses would be having the same course. For example, if we are learning maths, we're learning we're learning maths addition. We're going to teach them in a different way. Instead of using pen and pencil, we're using cups, or we're using beads, or we're using something that the child likes. Now, developmental service workers, we usually support adults who are above the age of 18. We focus on them being independent, which means we teach them to go and order their coffee at Tim Hortons or a CCD in India on their own. They may take time, but using our fingers, like I need coffee, giving them a hint. And we usually also take a team lookout here, where we go and we talk to the people who are who work there, saying that we need your support, we need you to be a bit patient because we're working on independence for the people we support. Safety, recreational activities. When I would like to talk about safety as well, we do support people who may have eating disorders or may have developmental disabilities where they need to harm themselves, like self-injurious behaviors. To provide safety, we usually take away everything that we feel that they can harm themselves. If there are eating disorders, may not sound right, but we need to lock up things for their benefit. Recreational activities, we do dance, music, playing bingo. I myself conduct dance classes for people who have a developmental disability, even those on a wheelchair. I know there is a movie in India, ABCD, anybody can dance, but I would like to take that seriously, that the people we support who have autism or developmental disability or even sitting on a wheelchair and can just use one hand can dance with the dupatta. And inclusion in the community, taking them to the temple, taking them to the church, taking them to buy groceries. I've even supported people where we've taken them in the bus, and the fun we've had, oh my goodness, it's nice. Speech therapist. They stimulate language by talking and playing. They model correct sounds and mouth movements. They incorporate therapy in home life and teaching parents. The BCBA and the instructor therapist team. So as a BCBA will make programs, and these programs are tailor-made because each child is different. That's why we call it the autism spectrum disorder, because it's the spectrum. It's every child is different. The programs we made have to be tailor-made. The BCBA gives the programs to the instructor therapist, and then the programs are run. As an instructor therapist, one has two main duties. Intensive behavioral intervention, that is IBI. We teach them skills that the typical learners get easily, like sharing. When I was a kid, it was very easy, or for other typical learners, it is easy for them to share. As we discussed before, a person who has a diagnosis of autism may have a deficit in their in sharing and social interactions and treating challenging behaviors. So this is a video I would like to show you guys of how IBI works. An instructor therapist works on the table to teach a child skills. Over here, the child is working for something. Like we all work for a paycheck when we grow big. Here, a child is working for something they like. Mister, what would you like to work for? So here the child is working for, So here the child is working for a cookie, and the instructor therapist is giving the child instructions and teaching them different skills so that when the child is in school, he is included and he is ready for school. So in the center, in an IBI center, we usually prepare our kids so that they have these skills to get for the readiness of school. Another video I'd like to show you is of a person, an adult, who's having behaviors. We call it inappropriate behaviors, but as I always say, behaviors is nothing but communication. So maybe this person is trying to communicate something. His name's James. So this person over here was he was engaging in SIBs, which we call self-injurious behaviors. Now, this can be any part of the functions of the behavior, which I'm going to cover ahead. And the person, so we've tied the therapist or the mama or the person with him is tied his hand so that he doesn't get hurt. That's something we use for safety. So why does a child or an adult have these behaviors that we just saw? So one is attention. If they want their mom's attention, they're going to hit themselves. Mom's going to come and say stop, and they realize that, all right, it's working. Tangible item, they really want something, so they're going to injure themselves, cry, scratch themselves because they want a toy or they want iPad time. Now, escape. Sometimes activities that we may feel, oh my god, this is so easy, why are they doing it, might be harmful, might be upsetting them, or they want to escape that activity. And sensory. So sometimes these behaviors like hitting themselves or scratching themselves is sensory. And I always think of it like when you have a mosquito bite, can I tell how would a person feel if I tell them don't scratch? Oh my god, you have to scratch at that point of time. Like that, sensory is that important for them. It's a part of the diagnosis. We cannot tell them not to do that, but we improvise. Like we improvise by putting a scarf on their hand or giving them a squishy ball. Instead of hitting themselves, they can squish a ball. Now, how do we treat challenging behavior? The mantra is ABC: antecedent, behavior, and consequence. Antecedent, setting events, is where this behavior that we call has happened. Antecedent is just what happened exactly before the behavior happened. Then we have the behavior and consequence. So giving an example, the setting events is home. Antecedent: mom walks in after her work. Baby starts crying. Mom holds the kid. The next thing you know, the second the child sees the mom, he's going to start crying. Everything is about consequences. What happens after a behavior? Will anyone be ready to work with a manager who doesn't pay you on time and is rude? Of course not. You're never going to work with a person because the consequence of your work was getting paid late and having a rude manager. But how about you have a manager who pays you on time, who's excellent, who's very sweet, and who motivates you to get to your best ability? It's more likely that you're going to stay with such a job, that your consequences are good and your demands are met. So here we come to reinforcements. Before changing any behavior, we want to know what the child likes, what the child wants to work for. Like in our video before, a child here was working for cookies. We usually avoid cookies. We usually do tangible items like having a chance to color or tickles or doing row your boat or something like that. Now, there are two kinds of reinforcements, positive and negative, but both increase a person's behavior. Now, this might be a bit confusing, but not that much. Positive reinforcements, the second a child does a good job, we say, oh my God, buddy, you did so well. I'm so proud of you. Good job. Give me a high five. Or we tickle them. Or I usually do round and round the garden and tickle them. Now, for negative reinforcements, we usually use it more for adults. So we would tell the person that, all right, you finish all your work and then you don't have to do your dishes. So the adult or the child will keep working more, and we take away something that is negative so that the behavior increases. We want to see good behavior. We want to see the adult working more on his task, or we want to see the child keep on going and finishing all his tokens. Now, what do we know? How do we know what the child likes? Because that is very important. I still love soft toys, but some of my kids may not like them. So we cannot give something that I like. So we do a multiple choice reinforcement. We let the child come to the center or the play or school and explore. We observe them for 2 good sessions where we build rapport, where we play with them, where I'll be doing car and crash and having a good time with them, so we know what they really like. And then we go for a post-choice reinforcement, because people or children who have autism may have a hard time selecting. So it would be, do you want paper or cup? And then they can choose from paper and cup what they want. And then we work through it. So they start working, once the BCBA makes up programs, we start working using these reinforcements. Now, how we can change the undesirable behavior. The first thing would be ignore undesirable behavior at all times, and this works for children of the typical learners as well. It works for any child over there. And another thing we can do is differential reinforcement of other behaviors. That is reinforcing all the good behaviors we want to see. The child did a good morning routine where he brushed his teeth, wore his clothes on his own, reinforce him. It may not be a part of the undesirable behaviors of hitting, but he did a good job um, with brushing his teeth and his morning routine. We'll reinforce him. He did a good job saying good morning to everyone at home. We reinforce him. He went to school happily. We reinforce him. Now, the other thing would be DRA, that is differential reinforcement of alternate behavior. I can take you through each of the behaviors we discussed. First is attention. Teaching the child, first raise your hand and then we will come to you. Alternative behavior instead of crying in class for attention. Tangible item, working for it. Then you get the tangible item. Escape, we don't let them escape. Even if they are crying and it may seem harsh, they have to finish their work or at least some part of their work before they go, so that they realize there's no escape. Otherwise, they learn that, okay, I can cry or I can do this and I can escape. And here our goal is to make them independent. For sensory is hard because that is something that they got to do, like us scratching our hands when we have a mosquito bite. So we usually try to be innovative here, where we give them squishy toys or try, and when we're working through sensory, they are the boss. Whatever their sensory need is, we try to work around them. Learning behavior is easy. Unlearning behavior is very hard. Now here I'm talking about adults or adolescents, like teenagers, and how we need to respect the people we support. The first and the main important thing I would like to say is how we address them and how we talk to them. Or how we address them. For example, saying autistic child, I would say a child with autism. Because if if John had to have depression, we won't be calling him depressed John. So why call a child autistic child? I would love to reinforce the fact that we have to use terms like a child with Down syndrome or a child with autism. So they are not linked to the disorder. They are an individual by themselves. The first thing to respect them is do not feel bad for them. That's the best way you can respect them. Instead of saying, "Arey, isko to autism hai," that is the worst thing. It's like saying, these people are normal, or these people are like, that's the worst way we can that's the way we disrespect them. So, and no baby talks, especially for adolescents and adults. Inclusion, let's include them in wherever we go. Hold their hands, take them to the mall, take them to the movies. We always do that here. We always take our people we support to the movies for bingo night, for bowling, making them independent. We usually feel when we sympathize with them, when we sympathize with a person who has a disability, we consider them below us. So how are we going to respect them? When we consider them below us, we want to help them because we always want to help people who are below us. But what if we make them independent and give them that respect that they need? They're just going to be one of us, and that's one of our goals. So here in the picture, in the slide, even though this doll is different, we want everyone to be on the same page and respect it and give them a lot of choices. Here, when we talk about people who have a diagnosis, they do not get a lot of choices. They do not get a lot of choices of what doctor they want to go to. It's the parents or the support workers, or we as support workers, we choose their doctors. We choose their where they're going to go because we want to take care of their safety. So give them ample of choices. Imagine being forced to learn a language and you're not happy with it. So if you respect them, we need to give them a lot of choices. Privacy and personal care. Now this is to do with anyone who has a developmental disability, or even our old folks who need personal care, like our grandparents or someone who may need personal care. And how do we respect them? First thing is keeping everything confidential, asking their permission if we can if we can even enter their house at that point of time, and respect their personal space. Now, personal care, now this works for everyone. I know at the last few days that my grandfather was ill. Before he passed away, he needed personal care the last week. And the only thing that came to my mind is, oh my God, I hope, and this person did a great job who supported him, but we always want our loved ones to be respected even when they need support of personal care. So wear gloves, give them choices. What would you like to wear today? Not just putting them whatever we find in the cupboard for them just because they're on the wheelchair or they're laying on bed, and walking them through steps of care activities. I find that is so important because it's like a jhatka, or you're just shaking them. I'm sitting here and someone picks me up and takes me to take a shower. That can be a shock for me. So walk them through each process. Like, we're going to go to have a shower. Are you ready? Do you need some time? If the person says, yes, I need 5 minutes, give them 5 minutes. It's okay. There is time. Give them the 5 minutes. And then walk them through each process. Give them choices of what clothes they want to wear. Uh, give them choices of what they want to eat. When we're walking through the steps, we would be giving you an example like, okay, so I'm going to shower your head now. So you want to close your eyes. All right, we're going to start with 3, 2, and 1 so that they're ready. If I'm going to get up off this chair, someone just picks me up, it's going to be hard for me. But if we walk them through the process, this is how it looks like. So we're going to stand up right now. Are you ready? If the person can't talk, you can blink, give me a high five, or say ready. When the person says ready, we count 3, 2, 1, stand. Most of the times you'll be shocked that these people we support who need assistance, they help us. They'll pull themselves up as well because they know that in 3, 2, 1, they're going to be lifted. Even while walking, okay, we're going to walk in steps 1, 2, 3. The counts really help. Walk them through each process, give them the choices, and always see to that we're respecting them as much as possible because everyone wants to be independent. Just a slight cold or a cough, we get agitated. Here we're talking about people who want to be independent, see others that are independent, know that they need support. So let's give them utmost respect that we can. The only way to reduce strain on parents of children or adults who need support is to create a world where support systems for them exist and are readily available. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nivedita. It's a very, very touchy and a very important topic for all of us to be taken up, particularly people those are in education vertical, education ecosystem. You can close your presentation. You can close your presentation. So people those are basically in education ecosystem, dealing with kids, dealing with small children, all age group children, and people those are counselors, people those are subject teachers. Otherwise also, I think in entire education ecosystem, there's so much it is needed. Now, if you have seen 2 of the Hindi movies, one is called Barfi, that was of Priyanka Chopra. And then there was another movie called My Name is Khan of Shah Rukh Khan. Do you relate that? Is it basically autism?
Yes. So I haven't seen My Name is Khan, but I've seen Barfi, and here this person has autism, where you can see Priyanka Chopra having repetitive behaviors, stammering a bit because they sometimes, not all kids. So this is a spectrum. So some of them may need a lot of support with language. So we have speech therapists as a part of our team. Some of them just talk really, really fast and they don't have any issues vocally. So Priyanka Chopra would be stage 2 of autism, where she had repetitive activities and a bit of thing. Although few things
speech
that they
part
missed.
also.
Yes, few things that they missed in the movie, because I mean, and they did a great job. I love that movie so much. But usually what happens is it takes us a very long time for a person or an adult who has autism to come out in the community. So here we see
Okay.
Priyanka Chopra having pani puri when there's a lot of crowd. It's very hard. We have a big
Yeah.
program. We put a lot of social stories, that it's fun when we go out. They will have the support, and we have to do it. We start off with 5 minutes of going out, to 10 minutes of going out, to an hour of going out. So that happens overall. And but yes, I totally relate to that, and I think she did a very good job in the
Okay.
movie.
Let, let's take a little serious concern and an example. Some of the people that turn adult in the childhood, we do not notice whether they had autism or not. People did not bother. They were in the village background, they were in the rural background.
Yes.
People were also not well educated. But as the society moved on, and as the things moved on, and they came at a particular age bracket, and they behave in a particular pattern. Something you used, very interesting three words which stuck my mind: ignore undesirable behavior. You
Yes.
used very strong, and that caught my attention so well. Ignore undesirable behavior. Now, it do you feel that sometimes the condition could be in the rural areas? The mother, she doesn't know the medical term, she doesn't know the medical care, what exactly is required in autism, and what autism is even. And the
Yes.
children have grown up, and the age has come up, and all that in the same family, and a particular person behaves in a particular fashion, maybe as a elderly age. Now sometimes ignoring may not be possible.
Correct.
So what do you feel, particularly at the grown-up level, what should be done? How to make other person feel, how to make other person comfortable, how to make other person uh, desirable, lovable, happy family member, everything to be taken that way. How that should be taken,
So
particularly when
usually
they,
with
yeah.
ignoring we usually do with kids. Thank you for your question, sir. Ignoring we usually do with kids and some adults who we can. But usually when we see an adult has a behavior because he wants a toy, or he unless it is sensory, or he's escaping, we usually put social stories
I'm sorry,
like,
I'm coming with a particular point: attention.
okay,
you you,
so for
you used the
attention.
word attention.
Yes. So when the person wants attention, he or she is going to act in a certain way. Then we put social stories in format. A social story would be based on their surrounding and settings. Like, if you so we would write a story that mom is very busy all day. Mom has to go to the well, and because we're talking about rural here, go to the well and take water, or mom has a lot of cooking to do and picking up the other kids from school. However, and this would be again in their language, whatever they use in Hindi, to Hindi, कि मम्मी को बहुत काम होती है. When mom is busy, I cannot cry because that would disrupt her work. If I want mom to spend time with me, I can use my words, or we will give them even these chits, like a green chit. If they can't talk, when I want to talk to my mom, I will raise the green chit. And then mom, we have to teach mom as well that, mom, the second you see the green chit, please come, because this person is not having behaviors anymore. He's not hitting his head or crying. He's using a functional way to communicate. If by words saying, mama, I need you right now, or showing a green card if non-verbal, and we reinforce that a lot. But that starts off by reading the social story a lot of times. We read it almost, if when I'm as a developmental service worker, when we work with adults, we have an 8 hour or 10 hour shift. So we try and read them every 2 hours, to then reducing it once we see that works. And sometimes that may not work. So then we sit, and if the person has, say, a level 1 or a level 2 of autism, we sit to them and we talk to them and we say, what happened? Why are you in the red zone, or why are you angry? Is there something that is bothering you? And the answers that we get are amazing, and then we totally understand them, that all right, maybe they are hurt, or that's why they want their mom, or they might have seen something, or they might have realized mom is too busy and not giving me time. That's why they need and then we always tell them that we focus on the now and then, to focus on the now and then. So we have social stories or we talk to them. These are the two ways. But social stories works wonders. But it's
Wonderful.
always tailor-made. So while writing a story, we always have to keep in my mind where they are living, their age. We also want it to be age appropriate here, so that it's understanding. We may put pictures in place if needed.
Okay.
Thank you. So I hope I
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes,
answered.
yes. Very kind of you. Now, a lot of comments have come. A lot of people have posted things. If you kindly permit, I can devote few minutes basically just to read out and recognize the people those have come
Yes, yes,
on
yes.
on
Please, sir.
this.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
So let's take it. Mamta, she's writing, be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind, they don't matter, and those who matter, they don't mind. So that is something what she has written. Keep smiling because life is beautiful things and there is so much. And thereafter, we have got your favorite Gurpreet ma'am, all the way she's writing. What a treasure of information. I'm more informed today. Thank you, Nivedita. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Then we have got Surekha Jai Prakash walking through the steps. Then Jobalakshmi from Tripura, Ishita Shukla from Lucknow, senior consultant from Delhi, Nishank Maurya, that is from Madhya Pradesh. Info students, it's a group of about 400 students, meaningful
Wow.
session. Then there's another Subha Lakshmi from southern India. Personality has power to uplift, power to depress, power to curse, and power to bless. Let's utilize our energy in a positive direction. Esvosa Imphal, another group, well said. And then valuable session. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your permission. DK Chaturvedi, I feel that he's from National Council for Teachers Education in India.
Oh, wow.
He says, don't feel bad for disability, true Nivedita. And another one, thank you for your valuable time. And Jyoti Bharat Devki ji, eye opener Nivedita, thank you. And then wonderful, incredible session. Vijay Kottamarti ji, a very good presentation by Nivedita and should be given a serious thought by Indian education, state and federal authorities to introduce autism as a subject.
Yes.
That Vijay Kottamarti ji is writing. And DK Chaturvedi ji, informative talk, really effective. Nisha Agarwal from Lucknow, Pankaj Tripathi from Agra, Nanlai from Shillong, Manisha Chaturvedi from Kolkata, BB Subba Foundation, then Surekha ji, Nivedita very well expressed. These talks should reach all stakeholders and the community too. We'll try our level best. And then, of course, we have got many other dignitaries from Indian Air Force, Mahesh ji. Very nice topic, which has been taken by Nivedita. And then he has written Tyrone, I have already mentioned Mr. Tyrone D. Brass. He's our advisor in entire Northeast, 45 million people over there, all, and he is a headmaster for a wonderful school in one of the tribal area, far-flung area,
Wow.
place called Tura. When you come to India, you must visit Meghalaya.
Yes.
We'll arrange a visit for you with your mom and dad. You can
Yes,
enjoy it.
please.
Okay, so keep your face always towards the sunshine and shadows will fall behind you. That is another girl writing. Wow, that's great. Live life to the fullest and focus on the positivity in life all the time. It's great. And once you start making the efforts to wake yourself up, that is, be more mindful in your activities, you suddenly start appreciate life a lot more. And many others, those have written from different parts. We extend them a great thanks. And Vijay Kottamarti ji, because it's his show, it's his program. Canada, all Canada. That is, he says, very well explained, Nivedita. Heartiest congratulations. So, Anand Mukherjee, do you remember Babu Moshai, Anand movie? That was a beautiful. So, he's writing, uh, can autistic people have job? Why not?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Yes. So they are very, very good in in sorting things. So
Okay.
and many of them work in Walmart. They keep sorting things. Interesting fact. Who we all knew that that game, Pokemon game. My brother would play it. He would run across the street to get a Pokemon. A person who has autism has made that. He made everyone like the diagnosis of autism, repetitive activities, going and finding the Pokemon. No one was social and no one was communicating. Without telling that out loud, he made everyone have these have the diagnosis of an autism through this app, and they can do wonders. They are excellent dancers. I do my own dance classes here. It's called Bhajo Dance Therapy. It's from my mom's name, Bharat
What is
and
that
Jyoti.
called?
Bhajo Dance Therapy.
Okay.
And and Bharat and Jyoti, my parents, let me tell you, they are wonderful dancers, and that's why I called it Bhajo. So over here, I teach people who have the diagnosis to dance, and let me tell you, they remember the steps like this. So, for example, that to floor pe jab se aayi, so we do hello, hello. So I have to break it down. So there is a step like this. I say, okay, show me winners. Punch down, punch up. So I have to break this step and make it like they are so that they understand to their understanding, but they are on beat. They remember each step. And I also dance with dupattas. So sitting here, we do dupattas up, down, turn, turn, up. So there are people who need the assistance of a wheelchair, right? But they can, and there are some who can't even move. They can only move one hand because the other hand they can't, and they are such wonderful dancers. They have facial expressions, and all they need is that push, all they need is that motivation, because they can definitely do it. And answering the question whether they can have jobs, yes. Even a person who has Down syndrome, they've been models. So I don't know the name of this person, but I follow them. And this lady who has a diagnosis of Down syndrome was a model in America. They can be makeup artists, they can be whatever they want. The teaching method will be different. So when I was in school, or when I learned whatever I was learning, I had to model. I'm modeling someone who did
Yeah,
this
yeah.
before, and I learned from them. Maybe the way we teach them is different,
Okay.
and that
Okay.
we may need patience for that, but they can do whatever job they want. We just have to teach
Wonderful.
them differently.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. Shivani Gogai is writing, I have seen autistic people are hired in McDonald's in Delhi at Nehru Place.
Wow, that's so
Uh,
good to know.
and he diligently carried out his services in the Nehru Place outlet where I visited. Shivani is writing, thank you. And Balkishanji, very interesting. Mamta, great efforts, incredible. And Bhajo dance therapy, when she's talking about mom and dad, log kehte hain Ram Bhajo, yahan kehte hain Nivedita Bhajo. So this is
Yeah.
something very lovely. God bless you, child.
Thank
God
you,
bless
sir.
you.
Thank
We are
you.
proud of you, and regards to your parents
Thanks.
also. And always take care of the humanity a better way. And whenever next time you are ready with your dupattas, with your dance, with your steps and everything, we will have Ram Bhajo, and Ram Bhajo with you. Thank
Yes,
you. Thank you. God
it's a deal.
bless. God
Thank you, sir.
bless.
Thank
God
you so
bless.
much for the
Have a,
opportunity.
have a wonderful day ahead. God bless you. Stay fit, stay fine, take care of humanity. So, ladies
Yes,
and
sir.
gentlemen, world over, green morning, green afternoon, and green evening to all of you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing your views with us on the YouTube, and keep sharing with your other friends also, because today's session, it can change the life of millions, millions, and millions.